Hello everyone. As I promised, I'm going to be doing this video offering the empowerment to Mikao Yusui's Reiki Crystal of Awakening. My previous video was an introduction, a very simple introduction. I'm certain I've missed quite a few things that would actually help explain it. So if you feel you missed something or you didn't quite understand, please put the question in the comments below. If you'd like to win a free healing session with me, again, say in that same comment that you'd like to win a session. I will pick someone and let you know. So, how does the Reiki crystal work with an attunement? Essentially, all I have to do is ask it to empower someone to it, and what it does is it will send out a stream of energy from itself into your system and give you, I don't really like using these metaphors, but they're the best ones that I have at this time. They will download into your system the energetic program required to build the crystal. And while it's doing that, I will be walking you through some basic instructions that will have you using the crystal to kind of program your consciousness and your intention on it and help it fully activate and set up. This process really shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes or so. So I would recommend getting comfortable if you can, and just set aside enough time for you to have about 10 minutes to watch this video, and maybe a little bit of time after to really kind of ground, center, and integrate, or to play and experiment. And so let's see, how should we go from here? I think I'll just get comfortable, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and I ask Mikao Yusui's Reiki Crystal of Awakening to empower all those who are watching this video who would like to receive their own Reiki crystal to do so. So I'm seeing the energy from the crystal kind of flowing out from my heart through the screen and out to each of you who has the intention to receive this attunement. And so you might want to picture like light is flowing through this video screen and flowing into your heart area and flowing through your whole body if you want to participate with it in that way, or just be open to receive. And we're just going to sit here for about 30 seconds or so to kind of let the energy begin to flow before we actually try to work with it a bit. The Reiki crystal is very simple to use. All you really have to do is, like what I just did, just say out loud, Reiki crystal, do blah blah blah. You can also call upon it mentally by just thinking, Reiki crystal, do blah blah blah. It will hear your thoughts and will begin working with you. You can also visualize the Reiki crystal sitting about 3 to 6 inches or so in front of your heart or the center of your chest, and just hold an intention with your mind, or you may visualize people being inside the crystal. You can visualize your mind being inside the crystal. You can ask it to bring you into a Reiki meditation. That's what it's called when I mentioned in the previous video of bringing your consciousness into the crystal so that it can blend with divine consciousness. That's called a Reiki meditation in the system. So it's been about a minute or so as I've kind of talked you through how to do it. So what we're going to do is start with a few basic commands and learning the very, very basic self-healing treatment. This isn't even the full time it would take to do it. I'm just going to walk you through some of the steps of working with the crystal, and please do so as I go along because this is essential to fully activating and integrating the crystal into your system. So what I would like you to do, some of you who are very psychic might be sensing the energy crystal in your field. If you're not feeling anything, then you're just like me. It's okay. There's nothing wrong, nothing's broken. Everything's going to be okay. So what you would do is just picture it in front of your chest. If you're not good with visualizing, then what I do is just play pretend. It's almost like visualizing, but it's just more of an intention base. You're going to pretend that you know that that crystal is there. And they want you to say, Reiki Crystal of Awakening, please give me a 5-minute healing session wherever I need it in my body right now. So just go ahead and do that. And then while that energy is flowing, that's just one basic way of doing it. Another thing I would like you to try is to close your eyes and kind of pretend that you can see the crystal in front of your heart, and picture either your whole self, or perhaps just your brain, floating inside of the crystal, being bathed with light. And try and hold that image for about 30 seconds or so. And if you, again, are not someone who is good at visualizing, then just use pretend and intention. Intend that you are putting your brain inside of the crystal, and pretend and intend that it's bathing it with Reiki healing light, or taking it deep into divine consciousness. Just hold that for 30 seconds and just let it go. That's pretty much all that's required. Just those couple of requests to imprint your consciousness on the crystal and begin to pretty much set up a relationship with it. I'm now going to walk you through the steps of the basic self-healing treatment, and future videos will pretty much give healing by using the crystal, as well as telling you how you can do the same treatment on yourself or others by working with the crystal. But almost always the methodology is the same. Asking it, visualizing with it, putting an intention with it. That's really just the 3 main ways of doing it. I really don't know many other ways than that. You probably could write something down, Reiki crystal, blah, 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 but then that's mostly the same thing. So, without further ado, here's the basic self-treatment. So what you would do, and this is assuming you're not attuned to any other form of Reiki, the Reiki crystal does not, being empowered to the Reiki crystal does not in and of itself enable you to channel Reiki through your hands. However, you can ask the crystal to attune you to the individual levels of traditional Reiki. It's generally recommended that the teacher who is familiar with this process do that, especially since it certainly doesn't teach you how to actually use and teach Reiki when you're doing that. But if for your own sake, if you're someone who's never been taught Reiki before, and you would like to have the ability to run the energy through your hands on your own without having to use the crystal, you can sit down and ask it that it attune you first to Reiki level 1, and probably about, I would give yourself plenty of time to integrate. The traditional time is 3 weeks before you ask it to attune you to the next level and the next level. A 3-level system is perfectly okay to ask the crystal to attune you to. But if you know of other systems, you can ask it to attune you to those systems. Simply understand it is not the same thing as being trained or certified with teachers who are properly trained and certified in that modality. The crystal simply enables you to access the energy, because that is the very heart of its nature. It is about teaching the world that Reiki and spiritual energy healing is a gift available to everyone, not something that should be locked in the heads and secrets and books of a few trained people. Ooh. I'm trying not to flip you all off, I promise. So the basic steps to the Reiki self-treatment are simply this. You would put your hands, I'm going to sit up a little bit, on your stomach area, and while your hands are roughly just comfortably on your general stomach area, ask the crystal, Reiki crystal of awakening, please run Reiki through my hands. And you can set a time limit, or just say for as long as I am holding them here, whatever it may be. You can just say Reiki crystal, run Reiki through my hands until I am done. And generally the self-treatment time is about 10 minutes for each location, so you would do about 10 minutes on your stomach area. And for the sake of shortness, we are not going to do that in this video. We're going to move on to the next major hand position, which is hands over your heart. And you would say, Reiki Crystal Awakening, please run Reiki through my hands and into my heart, or just run Reiki through me for as long as I need, or Mikao Yusui's Reiki Crystal Awakening, please run Reiki through my hands for 10 minutes. All of these work. You can also, we'll move on to that step later. But so essentially that's the basic way of invoking Reiki for the second major hand position. And then the third one for the self-treatment is hands on top of your head. And again, just the same modality. Reiki Crystal Awakening, run Reiki energy through my hands for 10 minutes, or however long you really want. Generally 10 minutes is what's recommended for each position, so about 30 minutes total. And that really covers your major energy centers. The Reiki energy will flow to where it needs to in your body, and essentially will give you pretty much everything you need for a basic treatment. I would highly recommend, something that I don't usually do myself, is taking the time for about a week or 21 days after to give yourself that self-treatment every single day as a way of helping you deeply integrate Reiki, to help you really learn how to partner with the crystal, to help you master it, as well as assist you in healing and processing through everything that comes with an attunement, to help you really become a part of it. I did not follow that process when I first learned Reiki, but over time have learned that there is a lot of value in self-treatment, even if you're someone like me who doesn't feel healing that often. There can be spiritual benefits, there can be emotional benefits, there can be mental benefits, there can be so many different side effects, you might say, of energy healing that are just not immediately recognizable when you're running the energy through yourself. That is a lesson I've had to learn and am still learning in my life. So take my advice, if you will, and really give yourself time to treat yourself. That doesn't mean you can't go ahead and start treating others, doesn't mean you can't begin working with everything around you. Here's a couple of ideas for how you can just start working with the Reiki crystal around you, which would be Reiki Crystal of Awakening, please deeply cleanse and purify the room that I'm in, or say your whole house, or your whole property. Reiki Crystal of Awakening, please fill my heart chakra with the energy of rose quartz Reiki, which was the surprise healing treatment I gave in one of my previous videos. I believe it was the introductory video. It might have been the Reiki Crystal Awakening video, I'm not sure. But if you were wondering what it was, that's the answer. So let's see, what else? I will include more tips and ideas throughout all of my other videos, but if you really would like to learn everything there is to know about this crystal and begin to truly master it and see what it can do in your life, I highly recommend New Reiki Software for Divine Living by Brett Bevel. See the description below for a link to that book and to his website. Until the next healing video, this has been Paysse, and before I leave, I would like to pass on one little tip, one more little activation you should try. It comes from Brett Bevel's second book. It's called the Universal Reiki Integration Grid. After you've done a healing session on yourself or someone else, ask the Reiki crystal to put you into the Universal Reiki Integration Grid. Generally, a good formula would be about 1/4 as long as the healing session was. So if you did an hour session, then generally about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20, is a good enough time. Or you can just say, for as long as I or this person needs, or for their highest good, and just leave it at that. The integration grid helps kind of wrap up the healing, and it also helps kind of disperse it to wherever it's kind of needed. And if someone's really having difficulty with a a healing crisis or could really have one, it dramatically reduces that chance. But one of the best uses of the integration grid is that it helps truly bring home the healing work you've done and makes it less likely um, to fail, to go away, to fade away, or to not have the deeper effects that it could have. So not only doing regular Reiki healing on yourself or others, but regularly incorporating the universal Reiki integration grid at the end of every session will deeply improve your ability to really master this system and master energy healing as a whole and be able to really integrate the benefits. So without further ado, this is Blake Paysse with one of my energy healing videos. Until the next one, bye bye.